Hi everyone, how's everyone doing here today? Thank you for watching, and I'm a little late on this, but a while back there was the recent news that came out where Joe Biden tried to put in for student loan forgiveness, and it was inevitably shot down by the Supreme Court, unfortunately. No big surprise there. I mean, with all their luxury vacations and stuff, why should we cut students a break? After all, hey, a loan's a loan, right? And when you take out a loan, you should pay it back. And guess what? I'm all for being responsible, and that's fine. Here's some of the things I get hung up on with some of the criticisms from the right. Some people say it's like, well, it'll encourage students to be lazy and stuff, or this and that. It'll turn them into slackers. There was a lot of pushback, on Fox and other right-wing media outlets say nothing about politicians. Again, no big surprise there. Here's my question, which I'm wondering, and I have no way of knowing for sure, but I can take a pretty good guess. What if when Donald Trump was the president, if he proposed something like this? I mean, let's be real, he never would in a million years, because that would actually mean having to help other people and caring for them. But, hey. But let's assume he did. Let's pretend. Do you think then the right would have any objections? No. Guess what? Back in my younger years, when I went to college, I had a student loan too. It wasn't a big loan, I'm not going to go into specifics, but I did eventually pay it back. Now, would it have been nice if that student loan forgiveness came out back then? Absolutely. Absolutely. I would be all for it. Here's the thing I don't understand is, a lot of these people, a lot of them religious people, some of them, Catholics or Christians, especially Christian nationals, all say, like, I've seen comments from voters and just some of the regular folks out there, outside of politicians, are like, well, I don't want my taxpayer, paying off their loans. That's their responsibility. You all claim to be about God and Jesus and the Bible and everything, and yet the one takeaway I always get from the Bible is that it is charity. Charity. Yet you're all saying like, oh, I'm all about spiritual faith and all that and stuff. Oh, but when it comes to my money, no, out of the question. Really? Well, here are some shocking details from the right, where there were a certain number of politicians who receive loan forgiveness on their PPP loans. Those are the Paycheck Protection Program loans. Just to give you some ideas, and these people also were pretty outspoken against student loan forgiveness. Matt Gaetz, he got approximately $475,000 forgiven. Marjorie Taylor Greene, everybody's favorite freak girl on the right, she got $182,000 forgiven. Republican Gregory Pence, he's the brother to former Vice President Michael Pence. He got $79,000 forgiven. Vern Buchanan of Florida, and that's become one of the big fascist states of the U.S., and they're in pretty bad shape, but he got $2.8 million in forgiveness. And the House Judiciary, GOP, they tweeted at the time, you take out a loan, you pay it back, period. I couldn't agree with you more. So why am I reading off these numbers? And the kicker, guess what? Like I said before, I'm not a student. So even if they did do the loan forgiveness, it doesn't benefit me in a single way. Would I be allowed to take out a PPP loan? And, I don't qualify, but even if I did. The point is, why are these people who are considerably wealthy, why are they being given loan forgiveness? What about the students? Because I'll tell you one thing, it's not just about the loan itself. It's the fact that, there are a lot of families out there that are struggling. Some of them can't even afford to put their kid through college. Or they can, but they got to rely on a student loan, of course. And, some takeouts have to take out a large amount of money, and they have to struggle to pay it back, because sometimes these loans are predatory loans. In other words, I don't know specific banks off the top of my head, but some of these loans get bought out by other financial institutions, and guess what? Some of them like to increase the interest rates, or they increase the minimum payment due. And when that minimum payment is made, a good portion of that goes just to interest. It doesn't pay off the balance. So it takes an extremely long time to pay off that loan. And in the end, with all the accumulated interest over the years, they've paid back way more than they originally took out. And I say that is not right. These PPP loans, are they given high interest rates? Not that it really matters, because those politicians, they got forgiveness, but the students didn't. And the cost of living continues to increase, yet minimum wage doesn't. I know minimum wage varies in each and different states, but I've been hearing a lot of stories about, they graduate, they're trying to pay off their loans, they're trying to get a job, and they're very hard workers. But with the burden of the loan and trying to pay that back, and the fact that, a good paying job is hard to come by once you get out of college, it makes it, extremely difficult, in some cases almost impossible, to be able to just start their own careers. To say nothing about paying back the student loans, let alone other things like buying a house. When I was young, shortly after college, I had an apartment that was roughly about $750 a month. Nowadays, from what I hear, at least in my area, the same type of apartment would run probably a minimum $1,500. I could be mistaken, but the bottom line is that the cost of living keep going up, but the salaries don't. So what is wrong with giving students a little help? What is wrong with giving them their loans? It's coming out of my taxpayer money too, so I don't mind. And that's one of the reasons, is because I've said in the past, is because I care about people, which is way more than I can say for these politicians on the right. To say nothing about the Supreme Court. Oh, but they're getting their lavish yacht trips and other luxuries. Don't even get me started on that, because that is just an absolute disgrace. I don't understand, I get it from corrupt politicians, but why just some voters just really can't say that student loan forgiveness is a good thing. It's not socialism. It's the government actually doing its job. And, again, these are helping the younger generations. And it carries over moving forward. So, I'm not saying you have to do student loan forgiveness routinely. I'm not saying you have to pay back the entire loan. And I get that some financial institutions, they have to charge interest. They're making money, fine. But when it comes to the point where it becomes predatory, where it just locks a young student who just got out of college into paying back a loan for who knows how long, then I say that is just wrong. And there should be regulations about that too. I still say Joe Biden should expand the Supreme Court. I still think he could probably get student loan forgiveness if he explored other avenues or tried other means, be a little more aggressive. I'm still on the raising the minimum wage. Something else a lot of people on the right are opposed to. So. But, this is the way our political system is for now. That's why I say, just keep out and voting, and a lot of the degenerates on the right, especially these ones that are benefiting from PPP loans, vote them out. Because in the end, they don't care about you. They speak a bit against the students having to take responsibility, yet they're more than happy to shrug it off themselves. It is the typical hypocritical double standard we see time and time again, especially on the right. And yes, if Democrats do it too, it is just as wrong. So. You just have to wait and see. In the meantime, get ready to vote, because election day is not too far off, to say nothing about the 2024 election. Anyway, thank you for watching. I really hope you understand.